Hey guys, this is Moxi here again with another video, but this one's actually going to be a little bit different. So I decided to get together a Q&A and answer some of your questions so you can get to know me a little bit better. I know I make, Pokemon videos and, I've been tweeting at you guys and kind of getting to know you, but I know you guys had some questions for me, you were curious, so I asked what questions you wanted me to answer, and I have an entire list. It is literally, I don't know if you can see that, but it's like this entire page. You can't even see that exposure though. And then I have some additional questions on the back. So I came prepared. Sorry for the rustling of papers. So let me start off with introducing myself. My username of course is Moxillia on Twitch and YouTube, and then on Twitter and Instagram it's Proxy Moxi. But my real name is Haley. You can call me Haley, you can call me Moxi, you can call me Proxy, Moxillia. I literally don't care. You can call me whatever you want. But my real name is Haley. So nice to meet you. Also, I am 20 years old. I am in school. I go to community college to get my degree, my associates in computer programming. I'm hoping to transfer to university, get my bachelor's, so that's kind of where I'm at right now. I have been on YouTube for watching, not posting. I've actually been watching YouTube since the dawn, literally middle school, but I haven't actually started watching gaming content on YouTube. I started that 9th grade high school. So a while ago, probably close to 6 years ago, and it's been a huge part of my life since I started watching. I know I've struggled with anxiety. I would go to my job and I would be there 30 minutes early because I was just so anxious, and I needed time to sit and relax and breathe and prepare myself for the shift. So I would literally get to work 30 minutes early, and I would sit in my car and I would watch Pokemon videos, and it was my comfort. It's always been there for me, and that's kind of my story of why I'm doing this, because it's something I love. Literally, I don't watch cable, I don't watch really any TV series or movies. I literally just watch Pokemon videos and YouTube videos all the time. That's all I do. Pets, I actually have I have one cat. His name's George. I've had him since 5th grade. I also have a bearded dragon named Ridley, after the space dragon from Metroid, so if you get the reference, you're awesome. I've had Ridley for about a little over a year, and we're actually babysitting, long-term babysitting a friend's cat as well. His name's Tux, and I love him. I want to keep him so bad. I have a house, so I don't know if you guys care, but this is my house, this is my office. I bought it when I was 18 with my boyfriend Josh, and I love this house so much. And kind of we'll delve into your questions now. I just want to do a brief introduction of who I am. So hi. So questions from you guys. So on Facebook, I asked on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram what some of your guys' questions are, and I really haven't thought about them because I wanted to kind of answer them on the spot so they're more genuine. I didn't want to think of my answer. So Lex Pepper on Facebook asks what my biggest inspiration is, and I'm not gonna lie guys, my biggest inspiration, the first PokeTuber I ever started watching was Shady Penguin, and what I appreciate with him is not only is he popular, he's created his own brand, his own channel, his own following, great guy, that knows what he's doing. But he's always been true to himself, the PG channel, although a lot of people might scoff at that, he's always remained true to himself, and I really appreciate it. And he's successful doing what he loves, and that's a lot of YouTubers, that's applies to more than just him. But he was the first PokeTuber I ever started watching back in the good old days when he only had less than 30,000 subscribers. So been a really long time. I've definitely been watching him for, I think, close to or more than 3 years for sure. So he's, at least YouTube wise, biggest inspiration for sure. My favorite quote actually kind of answers the next question as well. Lex Pepper asked 4 questions, so these are all her questions. So my favorite quote is from my favorite book, which is her next question, which is The Name of the Wind. It's the King Killer Chronicles. It's, I don't know the author's name by heart, but favorite book series of all time. And my favorite quote actually comes from that book. It's actually, if I ever seem to wander, if I ever stray, know that true stories seldom take the straightest way. Something like that. And I actually wanted to get it tattooed on me in Hylian. I actually have the tattoo laid out and everything. I've had that tattoo laid out for 3-4 years at this point, and really want to get that tattoo eventually. My favorite quote of all time from my favorite book series, which is the King Killer Chronicles or The Name of the Wind. Definitely check it out. The author's taking like 10 years to make that third book, and it's also being made into a movie series, which is being compared to Game of Thrones, so it's going to be that good, hopefully, fingers crossed. And also, so book, it's a book, it's going to be turned into a movie, a video game, and a series, so really excited for that. So, her last question, Lex Pepper asked thoughts on spiders. I freaking hate spiders, to be honest. My two biggest fears really are heights and spiders, and I guess, I mean, like, heights kind of goes with, like, deep water and stuff. Those are my two fears, I guess. And I hate spiders, but I'm not gonna lie, living in this house has helped me, like, kind of deal with that fear, because when we first moved in here, it had been, like, not lived in for, like, a year or something like that. And it's an older house. It was built in the 60s, and there were so many spiders. And, like, spiders just love to live here. Like, I just built a computer, and I've had this tower. I bought it, like, years ago because I was going to build a computer back then, but I never did. And literally, I took the tower, and there was, like, a spider, like, nesting in there. And I was like, oh, my God. Like, spiders are terrible, but I've kind of, like, learned to deal with it. But, yeah, still hate them. Okay, so on Twitter, S_Catalono, aka Sam, his name's Sam, hi Sam, he asks, who's your favorite subscriber, in parentheses, it's me. I don't have a favorite, you guys are awesome, everyone's been so sweet, to be honest. Just the comments and interaction on YouTube, on Twitter, on Twitch, like, everyone has been so amazing. I have not encountered someone who was not just so sweet and genuine, and someone I have not enjoyed talking to. So honestly, you guys are all awesome. I don't know why you're even giving me the time of day, to be honest, so I really appreciate it. Alright, so on Twitter, potato_Jim asks, why is bread? Well, why not bread? I mean, bread is life. You know, it's on pizza. I don't know. I love bread. I don't know, I was actually gonna think of like some philosophical like answer to that question, but I don't know. Alright, and then Frozen Colrus on Twitter asks, what's your favorite snack? So snack is different from food. Like food in general, like sushi is my favorite food. Snacks, however, would have to be like Doritos or something. Like, yeah, MLG. No, but really, I love Doritos. Me and my boyfriend discovered last night that if you dip the, what kind does he have? Like the chili one, I guess? The chili, or even the regular, like the one I like the best. If you dip them in sour cream, oh my god. Like, we ate the whole bag last night. Alright, so Derposse on Twitter? No, on Instagram, excuse me. Derposse. Sorry if I'm saying that wrong. What's the first game you called your favorite? My first favorite game, honestly, I started really young playing games. I've been playing video games since I was like 2 years old. Like my parents bought me a Game Boy Color, and the one with like the Pikachu with the cheek that lit up to show the battery life, but it was actually like Pikachu's cheek. Anyway, so my first game on that Game Boy, the first game I think I ever played was Pokemon Red. They got me Red. They got my cousin because I lived with my cousin at the time. She was the same exact age as me. She started off with Pokemon Yellow, so I had Red, she had Yellow, and that was my favorite game of all time, and obviously I still play it to this day. So I would have to say Pokemon Red was my first favorite game, and I'm not gonna lie, when I was young, I did not know how to save, so I like replayed the beginning like 30 freaking, no, not even just 30, like literally like 500 times, because I was so young, I didn't understand the concept of save, so I literally like replayed the first, like, you know, getting your starter and everything, like so many times, so I have that like engraved in my head. But yeah, I eventually finished it, of course, but that was my first favorite game for sure. Now on Instagram, genderfuck_LVD, and that's fuck with a V, so I guess if asks a couple questions. So he wants to know college thoughts, personal value, and thoughts about college, like I guess my personal like opinion on college. I mean, I feel like college is important. I don't believe it's for everyone. I'm not one of those people who feels like to be successful you have to go to college. I understand that college isn't for everyone. I hate college. Like, I really freaking hate college. Like, I cannot, I'm like at my wit's end because I'm doing online classes. It's so frustrating, and dealing with like the staff there. And I mean, again, college is important. I mean, if you utilize it, but again, you don't have to be successful with you don't have to go to college to be successful. Again, it's not for everyone, and I'm pretty sure every parent wants their child to go to college, and that's a great, thing, goal to have for your child. But if they don't go and they follow a different path that does not include college, good for them. Follow their dreams. Do what they want, as long as they're following their passions and they're being happy, and they are happy, and they're going the path they want to go. And if it just so happens to not include college, then good for them. I wish everyone, as much luck in the world. It's tough to make it out there. So whatever you decide to do, whether it be college or not, go for it. You got it. And he also asks my thoughts, I guess, on drag queens. So again, I'm totally open-minded. I don't care what you do. I don't care how you dress, what you believe, what you identify as, or what you are attracted to. I don't care. Do you? Like, it's not negatively affecting me in any way. Like, you rock it. Like, if it's something you want to do, and if you're following what you want to do, you're following the path you want to do, you're doing what you want to do, and as long as you're doing that, like, you're successful, in my opinion. Like, I don't care if you make a YouTube channel and it doesn't kick off, but you continue to upload, you continue to do what you love. I don't care if in like monetary sense it's not successful. You're doing what you love, and I feel like that's the biggest success you can have. Magnitude asks on Twitter, what is your favorite Pokemon and why is it also Scyther? I see what you did there, Magnitude. I like Scyther, but it's not my favorite Pokemon. I'm sorry. I'm not going to steal your favorite Pokemon, Magnitude. I'll let you keep that one. But my favorite Pokemon is definitely Vaporeon. I'll get to this later, but I actually have Vaporeon tattooed on me here. And my favorite is going to be Vaporeon. It was always my favorite evolution growing up. It's just great. It's always on my OU competitive team. I always just slap it on there because I have to have it. I know it's not OU, but I'm going to use it regardless. I love Vaporeon. I love the concept. I love how it's different. And the colors are beautiful, and I just think it's a great Pokemon. So, yep, there you go. And then on Twitter, my boyfriend asks, Jet Set Jack, can you throw that ass in a circle? No, I can't. I'm white. I'm too white for that. I'm sorry. And then on Twitter, I am Sam H asks a couple of questions as well. If Pokemon are real, but you could only pick 3 Pokemon to have, excluding legendaries, who would they be? So it's different. So if I actually had like to pick a companion to have in real life, in like the real world, I would have to say one of them would definitely have to be Arcanine. It's not one of my favorite Pokemon, but like just imagine having this giant freaking like wolf fire thing just as your companion. Like, I think that is the coolest thing. Another companion would probably be Flygon. I've always been a huge Flygon person. When I played through Ruby and Sapphire the first time, it was part of my main team. I've always freaking loved Flygon. It's just so cool. It needs a Mega. Like, it needs something. It needs something to make it good. But Flygon is so cool. And when I saw that movie with Groudon and Ash was flying on like the Flygon, I was like, that's mine. I need that in my life. I need Flygon. It is so cool. Like, it just made me love it even more than I already did. And then for my third Pokemon, it's so hard. Like, I hate choosing. It would probably, to be honest, have to be Blaziken. Blaziken used to be my OG favorite Pokemon. Back when I played Ruby and Sapphire, like, it was my obsession. I had like a plushie of it, which I don't know where it is. I think I accidentally threw it away or something. But Blaziken is awesome. It's this giant bird thing that can like pick you up and like carry you somewhere if you need to, and it's just so freaking cool. Sorry about the double fire types. Didn't really plan that. But those 3 would definitely be my favorite. Like, I'd have a Blaziken to like carry me, I'd an Arcanine to ride. I'd have Flygon to fly on, and they're just like really freaking cool Pokemon. Really, really like those. Also, I am Sam H asks, if they have / will have Mega Evolutions available, would you take up on that option? So yes. And if I had to choose any of those 3 to have a Mega Evolution, it would be Flygon. So I would not Mega Evolve my Blaziken, I would not Mega Evolve my Arcanine. If I had to choose one, it would definitely be Flygon because it needs something. It would be so cool. Like, I've seen a lot of concept art for Mega Flygon, and it needs to happen. Like, Game Freak, get on it, please. Sun and Moon, I mean, is that gonna be a thing? Anyway, that's a whole nother discussion. She Wants the Vic on Twitter asks a bunch of questions, so get ready. Asks, what's something you like to think about? I like to think about my passions, like what I strive to do and be. Like, I'm pretty ambitious, I'm not gonna lie. Like, if I want to do something, I'm gonna do it, like, full on. I started a jewelry shop on Etsy, had it in my mind, and just went out and bought like $500 worth of stuff, even though I didn't know it was going to be successful or not, which, I mean, I did a good job, but at the time I didn't know what it was going to be like. Because I wanted to do it at that time, I just went all out. Like, I love thinking of things to do, like ambitions, you know, just in general. Like, I just love thinking of new ways to spend, I guess, my time, and, you know, to try and be successful in different aspects, whether it be a store on YouTube or drawing, I don't know. I've always, you know, once I have my mind on something, I'm gonna do it, and I'm always thinking of new things to do and try, and that's something I really enjoy doing. Also, She Wants the Vic asks, what other tattoos do you have? Okay, so I have Vaporeon. It's kind of a more realistic one. I don't know if you guys can see that. I don't really want to stand up. But it extends all the way back here, and it actually extends to this part of my bra strap, to the back of my shoulder, but the tail actually hasn't been colored in yet, so it's kind of like black and white where the tail is. But that's my Vaporeon, and I also want to get a Sylveon here to match, but that's later when I have a job. I also have my stomach done. I really don't want to show my pudge off right this second. I still have winter body, so no thanks. I also have can you see that? A revolver with flowers that says Dad on it. So you can kind of, oh, there, that's a little better. So it's a revolver with Dad on it, and me and my dad randomly went to a tattoo shop one night and was like, let's get tattoos together. And he got my name on his forearm, and I got this to represent each other, so thought it was really sweet. And then I also, you know what, I'll just freaking stand up. So this is my my moth on my stomach, I guess. So it has like the geometric triangles in the back, and then my moth itself. And then on my thigh, I'm not pulling down my pants, has a heart piece from the Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. So if you look at the style of that heart piece from that game, that's what I have on my thigh. And kind of the story behind that, I know no one asked, but whatever. The story behind that is I had a branding on the right side of my leg, and I had inflicted that on myself like a long time ago. And what the branding said was breathe, because I was like going through this like really tough time in my life, and then I was like, Haley, you just need to breathe. And it is self-harm, I realize, so I don't condone that whatsoever. I do not believe that you should ever hurt yourself purposely. I don't think that's right. But at the time, I was like, I'm gonna brand the word breathe on me, and there was the word breathe on my thigh. And I just kind of, it was a reminder that even through like the toughest situations, just to breathe, you can make it, like, you know, you're stronger than that. So years later, which was about 2 years ago, I actually got the heart piece over it, so, you know, you wouldn't see like the ugly branding like on my, like when I was wearing shorts and stuff, you could see it. I instead got a heart piece on there to show that those like terrible, like tough situations that, you know, brought me to brand that were on myself was kind of like my own heart piece, because as you probably know, in the Legend of Zelda, when you collect more heart pieces, you get a heart container, which, you know, makes your health more, like, you know, makes you stronger. So I truly believe that those situations were my own heart pieces, and they made me stronger. So kind of my story behind that. So not trying to get like emotional or anything. It's no big deal. I'm not like, I'm over it. But it's funny because you can probably still see the brand. You can see the branding through the tattoo, like at a certain light. You can still see like the lines, but you can't really read it. So anyway, on to the next question. It's still She Wants the Vic. How do you come up with how did you come up with your YouTube name? So Moxillia actually came from middle school. I was huge into DeviantArt. I do art. If you look at my banner and stuff, that's kind of like a little something I just put together. But I do art, and I was trying to think of like a super unique deviant art name, because I hate usernames with like numbers and like underscores and stuff. No offense to anyone who has, but it would just like drive me insane if my username had like extra stuff in it that it didn't need. So I was just trying to think of like super weird like name, like just a name just to make up. And it's actually funny because it's before I even knew Mozilla, whatever, Firefox, Mozilla. I didn't even know that existed. So this was completely off the top of my head. I was thinking of like butterflies, like monarch. And because at the time I didn't use Photoshop to draw, I used Coral Painter or something. It came with like my little tablet that I had back in middle school. And I was thinking of like monarch, like M-O, and then I threw like an X in there, and then like it just came out of my head. I don't know where it came from, but it just happened, and that's where Moxillia came from. And Proxy Moxi came from the fact that some people wanted to take my username Moxillia, so I have to just put Proxy in front of it, like fake Moxillia, like that's not my real username, like yeah. So that's kind of where it came from, kind of random. There's no like real reason for it. I guess like butterflies. And then She Wants to Vic asked me, who's your favorite starter? So I'm not gonna lie, I've always been a huge fire type person. I mean, like I feel like most people are. They always choose like the fire types. But I will say that my favorite starter of all time is probably Cyndaquil. I've always had like this love for Typhlosion. I don't know why. A lot of people hate on it, and that's fine. Like, I'm not asking you to like the same Pokemon as me. But I've always had this really like warm spot for Typhlosion because Pokemon Heart or Gold, not Pokemon Heart. Pokemon Gold was always like my favorite game growing up. It always had like a personal connection with it because, you know, Red, I was like a little bit too young to like really grasp like what was going on. Like I knew who Pokemon were, like I watched the anime, I loved the game, like I still had a good time, but I didn't really grasp everything. So Gold was like the first time like I actually understood it. So Gold has always been like a really special place, you know, special game for me. And Typhlosion was always my favorite, and I love Typhlosion, so favorite starter, Typhlosion. So on Twitter, Nova Sticey T. I can't even read my own handwriting, guys. Nova Sticey T. Sorry if I got that wrong. What was the most difficult Pokemon game / battle? Game is going to be different from battle, so I feel like the most difficult game was probably Black and White. I don't know why, but it just seemed like everything was just so strong in that game. Like, I don't feel like I would ever really do a Nuzlocke with Black and White because it just seems so hard. Like I played it and it's actually like pretty difficult. I haven't played it since like 9th grade, to be honest. But it was so hard as far as I remember. And then like the Blaze Black and whatever White, that ROM that Drayano made, why would you make it like harder? Like those games, at least in my opinion, I could be silly, again, I haven't played it in a really long time, but those games are just like crazy. Most difficult battle, nowadays, like I don't really, like no battle really stands out to me, unfortunately, with the newer games, but I just remember playing Ruby and Sapphire and trying to get through the Elite Four. I don't know why, but it was just so difficult for me. Like I think I spent a week trying to get through the Elite Four, and again, I don't really think I understood like moves and like, oh, this one's physically offensive and this one's, you know, especially offensive and whatever. Like I don't think that really like got drilled in until like recently, like in the last like 4 years. So I don't know why, but going through the Elite Four for the first time, it was just so difficult. And then just the champion Steven, I just remember like it took me so long, and granted, if I probably did it today, like Oris, like I just recently beat Oris like in the last 2 years. It's a lot easier, obviously, because I have a grasp on it, but I remember it being in my head, like going to the Elite Four for the first time in Ruby and Sapphire back in elementary school, middle school, whatever it was, and just being like, how am I supposed to do this? Like I don't know why, that's just like in my head. And then Nova CCT also asks, what do you like to do outside of Pokemon? So I really like to draw. I don't do it as often as I used to. I used to draw like every day. Now it's like a once every couple weeks kind of thing. I'll like get the urge to like get on my Cintiq and just kind of like doodle. Besides drawing, apparently I'm a boring person. I mean, besides watching YouTube and stuff, I just like to go out. I don't party or anything like that. I'm just like a really chill person. Like me and Josh every weekend we'll go to the vape shop and we'll play pool for like multiple hours, hang out with friends. We like to play like Smash Bros and have like really big get-togethers with all our friends, and we'll all play on the the Wii. We'll play Mario Kart, Smash Bros, and we just ordered Pokken, so I'm like really excited about that. And just hanging out. Like I'm a very like low maintenance person. Like I don't need to do a lot. Like I could literally be at home for a month and like do nothing, and I would probably be fine. Like I might get a little cabin fever, but I'm pretty chill. Like I don't really mind. But yeah, I like to run. I guess that's kind of a hobby. I don't know. I like to work out, but I mean, as you see, I haven't worked out in a while. Since I quit my job, I actually haven't really been riding around a lot, so I really need to cancel that gym membership. But yeah, just hang out with friends, work out when I can, draw, just like little things like that. I don't know. I think that is all, guys. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you guys have any more questions, and if you want me to do another one of these, you're more than welcome to ask below. I might, we'll see, depends on how many more questions I get, but I mean, what else is there to say? Also expect, hopefully, Pokken coming soon. Definitely either want to stream or record or both, whatever. Also, hopefully gonna start streaming in general soon too, so my Twitch channel is gonna be Moxillia as well. Also follow me on Twitter. Love talking to you guys, and you can kind of stay up to date with like what I'm doing. I'll follow you back, so no worries. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And also, if you guys want like an office tour or like a new computer tour or something, let me know. I don't think you guys care, so just let me know, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.